Hello everyone. So today we are not going with a conventional topic. We are not going to pick up a show and talk about it. Today we are going to actually go through with what Fandomverse actually means to us. As in, we are not only fans of anime and some shows, it's about all the fandoms that exist. Alright, all the fictions that exist out there. And a major part of it, as in one of our favorite genre, is action. Alright, and in that, fighting is a major component, of course. So where there is fighting, there are weapons. And online you can find a list of almost all the weapons, like which are the top swords, the top bows and arrows, shields and guns. But there is one very important weapon that has not been talked about much on the internet. In fact, there is no official list of ranking in regards to this weapon, and this weapon is known as Gauntlet. Alright, very famous from Avengers, because Thanos had a gauntlet. So yeah, Gauntlet is basically a very heavy glove which you can use as a melee weapon, and majority of the times the gloves holds some kind of special powers with it. Alright, so today we are going to talk about our top 10 gauntlets. Alright, they are not the strongest as of yet, but they are our favorite top 10 gauntlets in all of fiction. Alright, so let us begin. So firstly, we have this in 4 categories. I have picked 4 gauntlets from the comic book verse. Alright, so I'm going to talk about them first. So firstly is the most famous gauntlet in all of fiction, the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos wields originally. And it is basically a right hand gauntlet which holds the capability to hold all the Infinity Stones. All the 6 Infinity Stones can be held in that, and that is special because the Infinity Stones as a singular component cannot be held by any other device or being as of such, but only using the gauntlet can one being possess all the Infinity Stones. So that is basically a kind of a power wielding device. It can hold the power, it can amplify it, and it can compose it in a way that one person can use it. So what is special about this gauntlet, it is also ranked very very highly in the official Marvel list of weapons and armaments. So what this thing is that a lot of heroes and villains have actually used the Infinity Gauntlet along the line in the comics. Captain America, Iron Man, just for example, and like many heroes, even like all the major heroes that you see, Silver Surfer as well, some villains as well, have held the Infinity Gauntlet and used it. So it basically has the power of all the 6 stones. Like whatever stones are held by it at that moment, its powers can be used using the gauntlet. Alright, time, power, space, reality, soul, all of these stones. Alright, so it basically gives you omnipotence and omnipresence because all the Infinity Stones are there. Okay, and it has some very marvelous feats to actually prove its capability. Like it has ripped the multiverse apart, it has rewritten the multiverse multiple times. Currently the 8th iteration of the universe is going on in the Marvel verse, and about 4 to 5 times Infinity Gauntlet has done the thing, like demolished the previous one and rewritten the new one. and one time using this infinity gauntlet and also another very powerful weapon known as the heart of the sun, heart of the universe, Thanos actually became so omnipotent and omnipresent, he rose above reality, as in he rose above the real reality as well. He could see the space-time continuum as a physical component and everything. So that was really dope. So Infinity Gauntlet is of course a OG and supremely powerful. Now moving on to the next one. Next one is a gauntlet that personally I believe should have been pretty famous, but people have not heard about it much. It is from DC and more specifically from the Green Lantern Corps. Alright, it is known as Krona's Power Gauntlet. Okay, so there is a very interesting lore related to this. So Green Lantern Corps, when it was being created eons ago, alright, when it was just being forged and the rings also did not exist as of yet, so the creators of the core were actually trying to find that how can they actually get this power to come in use, like how can they get someone to wield this power. So at that time a being named Krona had come along. Alright, he was the first Green Lantern and he actually had a gauntlet, and using their using OA's powers, he was able to absorb the Green Lantern's power into the gauntlet. Alright, and based on that gauntlet itself the rings were forged. So all the Green Lantern rings that are roaming around were actually based on Krona's power gauntlet. That was the original weapon that wielded the power of the green light. So that is a really that's a really OG thing, because that is basically the first Green Lantern weapon ever. So that I think should be paid more attention to, because it, in a fictional manner, it has a lot of historic relevance, so which is really nice. Now the third one is something that everyone must have observed a lot, like everyone who has seen Star Wars or The Mandalorian or even read their comics would have observed a lot, but not in a point of view as a gauntlet or as a special thing. That is the wrist gauntlets of the Mandalorians. Okay, so firstly it is of course made with their super strong material, that is a given, but other than that it is mainly it is wielded by all the Mandalorians. We see it of course mostly on Boba Fett and Jango Fett. So these gauntlets have been modified by the Mandalorians. They have rocket launchers and laser launchers, and some extra defensive capabilities. These are just enhanced gloves, basically made out of the super strong metal that the Mandalorians use to make their armor. Now next is from the category of video games, alright, and that is from the legendary God of War games, that is the Gauntlet of Zeus. So this I think comes along in the third game itself, and I have played all the God of War games. I'm a big fan of God of War games, played them like on repeat multiple times, all of them. So this is a pure gauntlet. It's a basher because it does not hold too many mystical powers, but when it is used by Kratos, the overwhelmingly powerful, the host of Sparta, he literally used them to bash the living hell out of Zeus. Alright, and Zeus is the god of thunder. Zeus is literally the king of gods, and he bashed him. Like, all of you who have played the God of War games must remember the ending scene of God of War 3, like the whole blood spill scene, the bashing with the bare hands. Before that, it was the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet really smashed it. Alright, all the other weapons of Kratos, like the blades of chaos and everything, they are of course pure slashes and everything, because they are swords from hell and all. But what this is just a go all out punching thing. So it is a simple gauntlet to say, but it does the work, because it can only be wielded by the people who can do the work. So now Dylan will be talking about a few more gauntlets, and then I'll end with a special mention.
Hey guys, yes, I'm in the video. So, as Marty mentioned, I'll be taking over for the gauntlet section, half of the gauntlet section. So we'll start off with like one of the movies, one of the heroes, a red one, who wears a gauntlet, or technically is a gauntlet of his own. Hellboy. Now, I know he's not exactly been the most heroic of characters on this list, but then again, Kratos was on this list, so technically anyone can be more heroic than him at this point. So, Hellboy, if you've not seen the movies, is basically a hell spawn, and he landed on Earth as a baby, as a boy, Hellboy. Yes, Mate, you raised your hand.
Yes, we are going pretty formal with this one for some reason. Yeah, major disagreements with the Kratos point. Major disagreements. Because
you're saying Kratos is more heroic than Hellboy?
Yes.
You're saying the guy who killed his wife and kids?
He did not do that.
He did, though. His skin is literally the ashes of his wife and kids.
He was under the spell.
Okay. So you mean to say
Have you played the God of War games?
I'm just saying that...
Have you played them?
Yes.
All of them?
Not all of them.
Which ones? How many?
God of War, then God of War 3.
You have not played all the games. Please don't judge Kratos, alright?
I'm just saying the guy sacrificed... I'm just saying Kratos sacrificed a lot to get that spirit from Ares, then went ahead and abused that power.
Sacrifices must be made.
Yeah, those sacrifices included his wife and kids, not that heroic. Moving on.
Perfectly balanced, as everything must be.
Yeah, perfectly balanced. That's why he had to move out of his own land, didn't he? Anyways. Hellboy.
Anyways.
He came to Earth as a hell boy because he was still young at that moment. Therefore, the people of Earth, mainly a secret department that the government sanctioned, were specially trained to teach and train Hellboy on how to use his powers and where to use his powers. For good, obviously. Now, in the comics and in the movies as shown, he deals with supernatural cases where he might specialize in, where other people, humans, or creatures of other nature may not be so powerful. Now, why is he on this list? It's because of his right hand. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does Hellboy's right hand have to do with gauntlets? Now, would you believe me if I said Hellboy's right hand is a gauntlet of itself? It is not something that anyone can wear other than him, because it is literally a part of him. It is his right hand. His right hand is just stone, and not any kind of stone. It is some mythical stone that is virtually indestructible, and he can't feel any pain that is caused to it.
Must be very lonely.
I know, right? So, with this gauntlet, that Hellboy wields. It's made out of red stone that was grafted onto his right hand, so technically it's not part of him, but it's might as well be. Might as well. It's like a tattoo, but a lot more solid and visible. So, because of this weapon or gauntlet, he has a very handy melee weapon and a landscaping tool. And in the movies, if you've seen, that gauntlet is also the key to hell itself. So, not only does he have a great weapon, it's also a double-edged sword. That means if anyone were to catch him sleeping, they would try to cut off his entire right hand completely just so they could open the gates of hell. That's why he's always under maintenance and surveillance from the government. At least in the movies. I don't know about the comics. Moving on to the next one, we have the Beowulf Gauntlet from the Devil May Cry series. Now, if anyone who has not played the Devil May Cry series, they might not know that the main character of the series is Dante. He is a badass superhero, kind of. Anti-hero is more like it. Basically, could not give less of a thing to save anyone unless someone he cares about is involved in that process. And then we have his brother, Virgil. Now, as stereotypes go, if one brother is casual and laid back, the other is obviously a lot more strict and focused on goals. Virgil fits into this category quite well. Now, coming to his gauntlet, Beowulf is just a pair of flash gauntlets and greaves which Virgil uses for different martial arts techniques. Now, you might ask, like, where did he gain these gauntlets from? It's in the name, people. Beowulf, the mythical wolf creature that guards one of the Temen Gru. I don't know what the hell that is, but moving on with that name. After being weakened in the battle against Dante and Virgil, they basically slashed it, burnt it, ate it. I don't know what all they did with it, but by the end they managed to capture its soul and weaponize it. Now, Virgil uses this soul as his gauntlets, which have a variety of attacks, including Starfall, Lunar Phase, Rising Sun, Beast Uppercut, and Kick 13. Now, for a wolf spirit that guards something, it has a lot of light powers, as the names might have suggested. Starfall, a dive kick from mid-air. Lunar Phase, Virgil launches himself into the air and performs a rotating windmill kick that juggles foes and sends them crashing downwards. So let's say that if we were to rate these gauntlets, it would be a pretty useful one. I won't say it is an overpowered one like the Infinity Gauntlet or the Zeus Gauntlet. Hell, not even Hellboy's gauntlet is coming close to that level of, like godliness. But still, it's pretty useful if you have to use it in battle. Let's say if you want to distract someone or you just want to kick ass of a normal human being, he'll be dead in one of those moves. Moving on to the other gauntlets within this list, we have Kazuma Torisuna's gauntlet from the anime Cry ED. Cry ED. I don't know what I've never watched this anime, guys. Just letting you know right now. If I say something wrong, you're too much of a nerd to not care. Now, no, I'm serious. I'm just look. It's a gauntlet episode. Be grateful. So, Kazuma's main weapon in this anime series is his gauntlet, which looks a lot more of a gauntlet than one of the characters that will be coming up within this list. The gauntlet's name is Shell Bullet. Have you noticed every gauntlet has its own name? I don't know, like you ever called a sword something else? Ever named a sword something else? Anyhow, the Shell Bullet manifests as metal armor. Well, Mate raises hand. Yes, Mate.
Literally all the famous swords have a name of their own.
Oh yeah? What's the name of the blade that decapitated the wives of one of those kings? Henry the 13th.
Not in the real world, in the fiction world.
Oh, in the fiction world. See, that's what I'm saying. Fiction world?
We are talking about the fiction world, aren't we?
Yeah, but like not everything has to have a name, but okay.
It does.
No, it does.
Mostly it does.
Oh yeah, what's Sasuke's little
does.
toe's name? What?
Weapon.
Yeah, no. It's his weapon, right? He kicks, doesn't he? He uses kicks in his martial arts, doesn't he? So his toes are his weapon in that, isn't it?
No,
what's the name of his little toe?
Never kicked, by the way.
Oh, he's not. Really?
He has not kicked at all.
You wanna pull up any Naruto fights with Sasuke right now where
He
martial
punches.
arts is involved?
He punches.
No, he's kicked also.
Hmm.
He's kicked
Doesn't
also.
matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter now.
He's wearing shoes at that time.
So sandals technically.
Whatever. We were talking about weapons.
Yeah.
Sasuke's sword has a name.
What about his little toe?
It doesn't matter. It's not.
It
a
does
sword.
though. If
Moving on.
Naruto's hand has its own name,
It doesn't.
you told me that his hand was grafted.
Yeah, that's Hashirama's
See, there you go. It has a name.
It does not have a name. It's just a reference because the cells are literally from a guy named as Hashirama. Alright? I'll tell people about this. Alright? So this is a confusion this guy has because he is yet to watch Naruto. Hashirama is the first Hokage.
Racist Hokage.
He literally formed the Konohagakure village, which means the village hidden in the leaves, along with Madara Uchiha. Alright, he is also known as the god of shinobi because no other shinobi ever had that much chakra in him. Alright, that guy was OP.
Pent up chakra. Never busted a nut.
He did. Okay. And he was also an incarnation of Ashura Utsutsuki, the first one. Alright. So Hashirama was so good at regeneration that his cells literally mutated. That his cells can be used in order to, implant limbs onto other people. And that would give them other abilities as well. As in wood bending.
What did you say?
Yeah, some special ninjas can, use wood as an element. Okay? Wood, lakdi.
Avatar the airbender crossing over, I feel like.
Okay. So, when Naruto and Sasuke final fight happened, they both lost an arm.
Of course.
Yeah, and
They were
Naruto
jacking each other off so intensely.
Naruto replaced his arm using Hashirama cells. But Sasuke did not because of two reasons.
He didn't feel worthy.
One, he wanted to repent for his sins in the past.
He didn't feel worthy.
And also a second reason people did not allow it is because how do you become an Otsutsuki according to Shippuden Shinden? You become an Otsutsuki when Uchiha and Senju cells are both present in your body and you have the Rinnegan, which means you can awaken the Sage of Six Paths chakra inside you. Sasuke, due to having the Rinnegan already, gifted by the Sage of Six Paths, the original, Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the original Sage of Six Paths, gifted him the Rinnegan in order to be able to fight Madara.
And then he
he's a Uchiha, and Hashirama was a Senju. He would get Senju cells that would literally awaken him, and he can perform the infinite Tsuyomi all over again. So, and he did not have a good temperament. People did not trust him yet, so they were like, "Do not go for that, bro. You're literally already one of the most dangerous people to ever exist. We are not making you even more dangerous." So that was the reason. I can talk about Naruto and mythology the entire time, alright? The next video you'll know. Continue.
So anyways, that still doesn't explain why Sasuke's little toe doesn't have a name. Moving on.
That's yours.
Yes, it's called Pinky. Anyways, the Kazuma's gauntlet is known as Shell Bullet. Now, Shell Bullet manifests as metal armor coating to Kazuma's right arm. So, you could say he uses plenty of lube to remove all that roughness, boosting the strength of his punches. They
I
are.
have watched the anime. May I? You're massacring it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so I have not seen S-Cried completely, but I have seen bits and parcels. Alright, so Kazuma Torisuna, this guy, this anime is like Parasite, okay? These things are aliens, kind of. They get attached to people. It gets attached to Kazuma. It is known as, this thing itself is known as a shell bullet, and it can take on different forms. One of the forms is of a gauntlet. Okay, now please continue.
Moving on to the next one.
Sure.
We have Goro from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that ugly bastard you keep playing as just to dominate your little brother, the one with 4 arms, the one that looks. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Copyrights. Anyhow, now you might ask yourself, where the hell are the gauntlets on this 4-armed beast? This steroided Tarzan that's mutated with 2 more arms.
Dude, why do you hate him so much?
Just look at him. Just look at that guy.
He's strong.
You know what? This is gonna be hard in editing. I don't know. Put a picture of him right now in the video. Tell me, guys. Does that look like a guy? Look it up yourself then, guys. We have a lazy editor on our hands. Look it up and tell me. Would you let him stick his dick in you? If you answer yes, please visit a therapist. Please visit a therapist. Hey, Greg. Anyways, hey, if 4 arms never had those gauntlets. This.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Sticks. Again, I have played more Mortal Kombat. May I?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have played all the Mortal Kombats as well. I don't know why I am such a lonely
Nerd.
brat. Yeah. And that. Thank you. So, Goro is one of the most famous characters because he might not look good, but he sure as well plays well. Alright?
You didn't exactly help with the first point you made.
He doesn't look good. He doesn't need to look good. He needs to make sure his opponent doesn't look good at the end of the battle.
I'm just saying, majority of the Mortal Kombat characters that are female are very
Attractive.
Yes, eye appealing.
Busty.
Yes.
So, Goro is not a female.
There is even a Goro female version which I would give a chance.
You're messed up, bro.
I'm just saying.
Dude, you messed. No.
Guys, Google the female version of Goro. I don't remember her name.
Don't do that on incognito. You won't find what you're
I'm
searching.
not doing it on incognito. I'm brave.
Alright, so Goro basically is the son of the main villain.
Shiva. There we go.
Shiva, named after Shiva, obviously.
It's spelled SHEEVA.
Whatever.
So it's Shiva.
Copyright issues.
Most probably.
Yeah. Alright. So Goro is the son of the main villain. Alright. In the first few series. He is from the race known as Shokans. Alright.
What? Before you go, guys, Google Goro female version. You'll find images of Shiva, and right in the middle of it, there's Thanos.
Why?
I don't know. Why is Thanos a Goro female? What? He doesn't even have 4
Alright,
arms.
everybody, please do that. Alright, you're gonna have a really good time. Not that way. Okay. So, continuing the actual nerd stuff, he belongs to a race known as Shokans, on the planet of whom the Mortal Kombat games are being held, basically, according to the
The
lore.
Nether Realm.
Yeah, the Netherrealm
dark
is the world of the
Shadow Realm.
Shokans. Everybody got it.
The dark place. The upside down.
हो गया? हाँ. So
The dark side. Okay, I'm done now.
Yeah. So Goro's fang are not pretty prominent or important as well. We just put it because Goro is a good character and I wanted to talk about it. Suck on it. I'm talking to Dylan, okay? I suck on it.
Yeah, because there could be underage girls that are listening to this video, Smarte. You could be a pedophile for saying that to our audience.
I don't care. Okay.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So the gauntlets actually have a pretty cool name. Those are known as dragon fangs. Alright.
It's called Shokans.
The race is known as Shokans.
Oh.
The gauntlet is called dragon fangs.
No. I mean...
Bro, I do my research.
Shokan gauntlets.
Yeah, because they are wielded by all the Shokans. All the, beings belonging to the Shokan race. Those are... Stop doing the CBR fandom research. Alright, dude.
It's not CBR. It's
Fandom, whatever. The name is Dragon Fangs. I know what I'm talking about.
Fangs. Goro. You talk now. Why are you invested? You're confident, right?
Yes. Alright, so anyways, Shokans wear the dragon fangs. They can use them as, generic gauntlets to bash people. So that's their entire thing. Point is, Goro is very cool. Alright, moving on. This one is the expertise of Dylan. Because yes.
He's so cool. If anyone never hasn't recognized which anime that dialogue could be from, you need to start watching the correct kind of anime. The anime that is borderline hentai. The anime
Ecchi.
that TV would argue about airing. The anime that will censor only one area of the female body. Yes, that's right, only one area. There are multiple animes out like this, trying to capture the fame of the legendary one. The ones who are cultured already know the name. Come on, say it with me, people. It's High School DxD. Yeah. This anime... This anime is one of the most legendary anime when it comes to the ecchi tag, the harem tag, the romance tag, the NTR tag, the incest tag. Any tag you can think of, it's already here. And they do not shy away. They don't even care if it's a lolly. Alright? Or yaoi, for that matter. It's too good. Now, anyways, moving back to the topic. Our main character is Hyudo. Alright? He is a friend in the trio of perverts that start off this anime. Now, Hyudo is one of the, let's say, arguably one of the largest perverts, but not within his trio. His trio, he's still the least one. And he's the main character, folks.
Such an achievement.
Yeah, I mean, his friends, they just need to take one glance and they can tell the size of every measurement on a woman's body.
I would like to have that skill.
Why? Is it useful? No.
It is.
It's not
Very
useful.
impressive.
It's impressive, yes, I'll give you that. It is not useful.
You don't know.
Unless
Maybe it is for me.
you're trying to work in a lingerie store or something. Only then will it be useful. Anyways. Now... story-wise, if anyone hasn't seen this anime, spoiler alert, Issei dies, becomes a demon, and yes, Marte, you're raising your hand again.
Yes. Spoiler spoiler alert से पहले, if you haven't seen this anime, get a life. Like, again, watch the correct stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay.
Watch it right now.
They've got the
Close the video and watch it. Abhi ke abhi.
And it's actually preferable if you keep watching for now. But anyways,
We got the view. Just watch the anime now.
anyways, the point is, Issei dies, becomes a demon due to the help of another queen or princess demon, named Rias Gramarye, one of the best waifus, if arguably not the ultimate. Now, because Issei becomes a demon, every demon has some sort of unique power to them. Like, if anyone's watched Twilight, you'll figure out by the end of those series that every vampire has some sort of a gift for some reason out of the blue. Now, where Twilight was wrong to introduce that at the end of their film series, this anime was smart enough to do it in the beginning when, the world was still being built. Now, Issei, for his unique ability, receives the red dragon
Emperor Gauntlet.
Red Dragon Emperor Gauntlet.
Coolest name ever.
I know, right? And it's one of the S tier legendary gauntlets out there in its own universe. Now you might say, what calls it legendary? Why is it so powerful? I'm gonna say this, alright? Like, before I even give you why it's so powerful, I'll just give you, it's easily number 1 if you remove Infinity Gauntlet. Easily. Because its main power is literally amplifying the user's power again and again. There's even a power within it that breaks limiters. That means that multiplier can be broken into infinity if you want, if the user feels like it. Well, it would take a massive amount of energy from them, but they could be the strongest being in that universe for at least a good 10 minutes. Yeah.
Imagine if a being with infinite energy, which is a very common thing in anime, gets his hand on the Red Dragon Emperor Gauntlet. Instant immortality, instant invincibility, no matter who is in front.
Yes. So, and not only this, like, because the power is so good, that's not the only thing that I would rate this high on. The way this gauntlet looks, the way this gauntlet evolves in the series, the way the gauntlet is alive in the series is worth watching. Because it is not just any gauntlet that can be used, it is a Red Dragon Emperor Gauntlet. That means there is a being inside that actually has a conscience. It has its own history of wielders, and only the gauntlet allows the user to actually break their limits. It's not the user that can break the limits. The gauntlet. Yeah, the gauntlet is the one that allows you to go invincible if you want, if you so wish to. Like in the anime, it's people, in the history of wielders for this gauntlet, they've had different ways to break their limiters to boost their power. For Issei, since this is an ecchi anime, one of the best out there, and Issei is a pervert, boobs are his booster. I mean, any emotion is already a boost. Any emotion's already a boost for him. But if he gets let's say something that stimulates him towards excitement or anger,
Makes him horny.
yeah, it multiplies his strength a lot faster. And the way the gauntlet just it activates, the legendary voice behind the gauntlet going boosto, boosto, boosto. That is the best goddamn voice you'll hear in that anime, because whenever you hear that, shit's about to go down. There is a scene within that anime itself where Issei feels or thinks that he has lost a loved one, and this is a very serious moment within the anime. Even though it's majorly comedy, action and romance, this is the first time we get to see death's deadly serious version of Issei, where he goes up against one of the most dangerous demon lords in that current time, and he does not even break a sweat in that moment. He just let me just put it this way: if the user is mad enough or motivated enough, that gauntlet creates its own armor, and that gauntlet, once it creates its armor, it's still getting boosted. That means you have armor plus strength, and if you go past your limiter, that armor evolves into being a real fleshy type of dragon armor. Like, it is an actual dragon at that point.
The first time he actually did that, it was like such an awesome moment. Like, he transformed into a kind of a full dragonoid thing. It was awesome. It was so awesome.
Yeah, the point is, whoever wields this gauntlet immediately has the potential to end galaxies if they so wished. That's why it's one of the coolest ones. It's coming from one of the best anime in the history of anime. Like, High School DxD is the same as Attack on Titan, just in different genres. They're equal in different genres.
Okay. Because no, they're very different anime because of different genres. Do not compare them. But both are super awesome in their own genres. Yes. Alright. So moving on to the last gauntlet we have out of the top 10 is a very recent one. It got introduced to the existence 1 week ago. Yeah, it is known as the Wu Gao Gauntlet, and it is wielded by Dragon Master Ping Zhao Po. Do you know who that is?
No.
That is the actual name of Kung Fu Panda.
His name isn't just Po.
His name is not just Po. Dragon Master is his title. His name is Zing Ping Xiao Po.
Why doesn't he just go with Zing? It sounds a lot cooler.
It's a Chinese. Okay? Chinese people like shorter.
Okay, what about Ping then?
No.
What about Lao?
No.
Okay.
It's just Ping Xiao Po. So,
okay.
Po. Enna Po. Okay. So, I'm gonna talk about this one because it is very recent. So, recently on Netflix there's a original series known as Kung Fu Panda and the Dragon Knight. Alright. So basically, knight from Britain has come in to,
get some tea
actually, and capture 2 criminals and also take revenge on her fallen brother. Now what she does with a slice of bread and butter. No, okay. So basically, when this is happening, Po has actually, went on to a journey to try foods from all over the place to try to prove his stomach that his dad's food is the best. Alright. And he kind of is not ready to fight because he is on a fun trip. But he faces the 2 villains there. Alright. And by mistake, he ends up using this gauntlet and destroying the entire village he was supposed to save.
And Again.
Yeah, he keeps doing that. He's basically Sidhu. Same.
Is Sidhu from Chandni Chowk to China, not the Moose Wala?
Yeah, bro. Dude, please don't come after my life anymore. Alright? We love Sidhu Moosewala. Yeah, whatever.
Loved.
Yeah.
Past tense.
Okay. We are talking about Sidhu from Chandni Chowk to China, which is a very good movie, underrated but very good movie. Alright? Akshay Kumar. Okay. Now, coming back to Dragon Master Ping Xiao Po or Kung Fu Panda. So basically, this gauntlet has the element Earth embedded in it. It's a full airbender thing, alright? You'll know. He's also listening for the first time to this. So along with this, we later get to know in the series, there are three more
Gauntlets?
weapons.
Oh,
One is a whip,
of course.
a fire whip.
I can already see some girl.
It
Then,
is a girl who forged it, a tigress,
I can
saber-toothed tiger.
I can see the scenarios
Okay.
already being embedded
Okay.
in my head.
One is a water helmet, like a helmet. If you wear it, you can control water.
But that is the worst protection I can imagine, especially for the most
It's just a
essential part.
conductor for water bending, all right.
I'm just saying, like, if you wear a helmet, you expect it to protect your head.
Yeah, it's just there. And then there are thunder wheels, stolen from.
What do you, thunder wheels, like roller skates?
Yeah, have you ever heard of Neza, the
No.
Chinese god?
No.
So Neza is a god. He uses fire wheels. Basically, they are chakras.
Oh, you mean like they are arrows, but they're wheels?
No, they are wheels only that are controlled like
Arrows?
from mind. They are basically one wheel roller skates with just the wheel. Imagine.
Can they roll on it?
Yes,
So,
they kind of roll on it even in the sky. They fly on it while rolling.
so it's a unicycle for the gods.
It's.
Because
Please
you.
try to imagine. 2 legs, 2 wheels. 1 wheel for each leg.
Ah, okay.
Okay?
So it's a bike.
Yeah, kind of. No, but okay. So they stole Neza's fire wheel, and here it is a thunder wheel. Alright? So it is a history that is also shared with us, that in the ancient past
Of course.
there was only one piece of land known as Pangaea, which is an actual fact, and all the people that existed had element bending powers.
You gonna tell me that Kung Fu Panda went into the ancient past and Oogway wasn't there?
He didn't go, he was just reciting the history.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's anything to do with ancient past, Oogway already lived through it.
I really missed him while listening to the history.
Like,
right?
maybe they could have done a Baby Yoda thing, have Baby Oogway in there.
And they didn't do it. A very cheerful voice was actually telling the old lady was telling the history thing, but Ube would have been much better. Anyways, alright. So all the people living in Pangaea had elemental bending powers like the avatars, of course. And a group of baddies decided to destroy the world using this.
Of course they did. Why not? The first thing that comes to mind when you get power, well, let's just destroy everything. Everything. No. Let's not take over the world so that you can live your life in pleasure. No, let's just destroy everything. Suicidal maniacs, motherfucker.
So, a group of master benders decided to become a team.
Did you say master? Okay.
Master benders, yes,
okay.
Master element benders.
Okay, much better sounding.
Decided to form a team, forge these weapons, and defeat the baddies. But the battle ensued, long and hard,
Oh.
and it resulted in the destruction of the world in a way, as in the land, not the world, and it formed all the continents and everything according to Kung Fu Panda lore. And all these weapons were, spread in the world and hidden. Apparently bad writing, but they were all found in China.
Of course, why not? Hey, if America is the place where every alien wants to do their invasion, why not? Let China also have some fun.
Okay. So there's just Britain and China in this series. Apparently, no other country plays a role. So they find the fire whip, which actually destroyed the world. This separated the continents.
Oh, there we go. They didn't destroy it then.
Okay.
70% water.
And they had the Wugao Gauntlet, which has the earth powers. Alright?
Okay, now tell me exactly, what does this gauntlet add to the Kung Fu Panda, like, cause Poe's already overpowered as far.
Was very overpowered with the skadoosh thing.
Yeah, skadoosh. Then he has chi, and then what did he have? The second one, he basically learned to give everything that he took.
Control.
Yeah, like he can already give back whatever he receives.
He uses these techniques as well in the series.
Yeah.
And it's not enough apparently. Yeah, it's not enough apparently.
You're telling me that a single pinky move that equals almost equal to an atomic blast for that one person. You're telling me that plus the power to reflect any damage coming to him. Third, the power of life itself.
Okay. So I'll spoiler alert. So the skadoosh thing, they really underpowered it now. Alright, he's just defeating any villain with skadoosh now. He's just spamming it.
Well, I would as well if I had that power, to be honest.
But it's like it deflects the effect on a larger scale.
Yeah.
And the life thing he's not using anymore for
Why?
some reason. I don't know. And the chi control, he's using it to cross rivers of lava.
Oh.
So he is using that stuff. But it is not enough. He has this gauntlet, and throughout the 12 episodes, out of in the 11 episodes, he only has the one thumb of the gauntlet. Apart from the one time he got the whole gauntlet and destroyed a village, he only was left with a thumb. And the all other parts, all other fingers and the arm was with the villains. They were destroying villages then.
Wait, hold on. Before you continue, I know I'm not attacking you, I'm just attacking the series at this point. So let's remove the skadoosh, let's remove the lifesteal powers, let's remove the reflecting powers. Remember the first movie that where skadoosh was actually got in somehow? They never actually explained how he learnt it, but he learnt it.
They did pretty well though.
Yeah, he learnt it through the power of bonding.
Yes.
No, but my point is, he is already such a good martial artist. Plus these powers. Like,
yes. He's like a OG Kung Fu thing, alright? He can literally defeat anyone if he wants to.
exactly.
But no, these weasels he had to defeat were kind of very slithery because the female one was also a witch.
Ah, okay.
She had Hashirama's powers. She could bend wood and plant control in the night.
Poison ivy.
When the moon was shining, she could be poison ivy. Yes.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, it was not enough. So he used the gauntlet, the Wu Gao gauntlet, and he defeated the weasels in the end and the fire whip. But the Wu Gao gauntlet basically has earth-bending powers. That is the whole point. So now Kung Fu Panda is also a earthbender. Yes. So those were the 10 gauntlets. Hope you like it. If you have more suggestions, please write in the comment. Apart from that, one small question, Dylan.
Yes.
Out of all the weapons that exist, which is your favorite weapon?
Of course, it's gonna be the Red Dragon Emperor.
Not a gauntlet, just like from all the weapons that ever exist, which is your favorite weapon?
From all the weapons that would ever exist, that is a big. Let's see.
It can be simple as well. It does not need to be something as strong.
Look. The first thought automatically comes to mind would be Omnitrix.
Okay. Reframing the question, of all the real weapons that exist in the real world.
Okay,
which
that
is your
narrows
favorite type of weapon?
Okay, that narrows it down quite a bit.
Yes.
Okay, then my answer would be what do you call it? God damn it, I can't remember the name.
Describe.
The what do you call it? The twin blade that Thanos uses.
Yeah.
In Endgame.
Yes.
that thing. It exists in real life as well, right? Like
Can
it
yes.
can, that thing. That would be a favorite weapon of mine because it acts as a defense and offense at the same time.
Oh, it is surprisingly very very similar to my choice of weapon. It would be two swords, alright, double-handed swords, which could eject into a chainmail with like a twist or a button, and come back automatically with a
Like a
spinner
Daredevil
inside.
stick.
No, no, much more complicated. Two double swords, right? And we can use them as
Blades
chainmail
of
as
chaos.
yes, blades of chaos kind of thing. With blades of chaos.
Basically,
Actually,
yeah.
basically blades of chaos, but longer. Yeah. So that is my favorite weapon. We just gave you this information for no reason.
What are your favorite?
What are your favorite weapons?
Yeah, there is a reason. Aha!
Yes, now we have it. Okay. So with this, we will conclude the video. Thank you very much for listening to us. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out. Sayonara.